It's the Real Housewives of Atlanta, friend or foe. And they spell faux. They spell faux like F-A-U-X. I don't think that really matters. But anyway, what do you think, John? First off, we have to say, sorry. If you don't know, Mother, they call her Mother Tucker. It's not really meant to be a pun. But Todd's mom passed away this week, so that's just awful. It's been really tough to watch her the rest of the season because, you know, anyway. So I have to just kind of acknowledge that before we dig into the episode. Your thoughts, John?
Todd's mom's alright.
Okay, well, we didn't see her this episode.
It's the other person's mom.
Yes, but we'll get to her eventually. So we start off with Claudia and Kenya in Claudia's sexy apartment, which, like, is just so gross the way Kenya talks about stuff. She's like, ooh, it's so sexy. And I'm like, oh. Ugh. Like, who does that? So, but she had no furniture and she moved into some high rise and they're acting like they're friends. You had an opinion on that.
You don't like them.
You don't like them. Why don't you like them?
They seem to suit each other.
Okay. I know you said in part, I came with it to like feed you your lines, that Claudia, you don't like Claudia because she's Kenya's friend.
Yeah. Okay,
so one of the things I have to point out going into this is that whenever a new house...
Nikki, anything on TV must be real.
Okay.
It's like the internet. It has to be the truth.
Okay, but I hate to burst your bubble, but just because they say that Claudia and Kenya are friends, they might not have only ever met each other like twice before. So we don't really know, but I'm going to go with you. I don't dislike Claudia yet, but I am very suspicious of her. Then we meet up with, let's see, Kenya saying it's all high class and blah, blah, blah. Oh, and clearly Claudia has watched previous seasons because she makes a reference to Kenya being ashy. And I'm like, that has to clearly be a callback to her fight with Portia from, what, 2 seasons ago? Anyway, so we go to Kandi's old house, who her mother's boyfriend, who we've never heard anything about, Mama Joyce, her boyfriend has started to renovate the house by essentially just taking everything, ripping everything out of every bathroom and then doing nothing more. And Kandi's like, oh, well, what can you do?
Got a good start to the demo.
Well, it's just like, I'm like, I've said it before, I'll say it again, cushiest job in the world is Kandi's mom. Because clearly you can do no wrong, and you just get like new $1 million houses whenever you feel like it. Yeah, I could do it. Could you?
Why not?
Pretty sure we could do it.
Pretty sure if I bought somebody a house, I'd say you take it and shut up, or take it and shut up.
Unless they want a new garage, in which case you buy them a new garage. Okay. Anyway, catch up with Mallory, Cynthia, and her mom.
Garage is for me, woman.
Okay, anyway. And Cynthia's going on about how this blog she read, this interview she read, and her and Nene. And I'm like, if I was in the Real Housewives of Atlanta, I don't think I'd be spending my free time looking on the blogs, right? Like, checking out some interviews. Like, I'm being paid. I don't care. Money. Money, my friend. But Cynthia's like, oh, that Nene. And I don't trust her husband. What's her husband's name?
Spoiler alert, Kandi wins this episode.
Kandi does win this episode. There's no doubt about it. Because Kandi's clearly making a lot of money by just stirring the pot. Stirring the pot. Pretty much all she's done this whole season. She's always like showing up somewhere and being like, well, I was talking to Kenya yesterday. And then going, I was talking to Kandi the other day. And I'm like,
hey, there's a big pile of shit. Let me get a fan.
Let's just chuck it right at the fan and see what happens. Anyway, Phaedra and Kandi meet. They talk about Kenya. And then Kandi's like, I'd really like to get everyone, except Claudia, together so we could talk about stuff. Because we're going to be spending a lot of time together. And I think we should just talk it out.
Clearly that's for real and not at the urging of the producers.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all. Nene's teaching her son to drive. Brent... Of course, her husband is pretty funny. But anyway, then we see more of Kenya and Claudia. I don't even care. They're at a gym, and Kenya's making all these remarks about, like, sex, and she grosses me out, okay? She likes to act like the only reason why the ladies don't get along with her is this fellatio rumor. I remember fellatio so much. Fellatio rumor. Truth is, they dislike her, as Phaedra and Nene point out, for a buttload of reasons. Bottom of the list is fellatio. So you can just cut the list off right there. They still dislike her. my advice to Phaedra, she certainly didn't ask for it, would be that she should just gone in and been like, I'm sorry, I believe Paulo. And then just shut her mouth and just left it at that. Because you know in like 2 seconds, Kenya's going to offend someone in some new way. And everyone's going to hate her again. But just, you know, and the whole, is Apollo telling the truth about lying or is he lying about lying? I don't care. The guy's clearly a crook and a liar. So he could have told the truth, he could have lied. I'm not going to bet any money on it either way. Could be either. Thoughts, John?
Are we done yet?
No, you got to add something. It was the worst dinner party ever, right? Like, they all fight, and then Kandi's like, oh, I can't believe, this wasn't my intention. Bull crap.
I don't even get food. What's the name of that restaurant?
Einstein.
Let's never go there.
Well, I'm thinking they're going to want their money back after that editing. Because, you know. Anyway, everybody fights. Kandi's so surprised everyone fights. That wasn't my intention at all. Nene rips into Cynthia. Every time Cynthia tries to do like a read in the interviews, they're so weak. Like she's like, look at that Portia with her Dish Nation, or maybe it's her, you know, African prince. And I'm like, wasn't it Kenya's African prince? And I'm just like, that's such a weak comeback. Like, I'm not buying this whole hard new Cynthia. This is the same woman who wrote up a friendship contract, gave it to Nene and was like, ha ha, no, but seriously, sign it. That's like something you do when you're 13 or a really immature 16 and you're like really embarrassed and everyone makes fun of you. Let alone...
Or you're Dwight on The Office. Right.
I mean, really, like, she can't be for real. So that is our episode.
Or no, what's his name on The Big Bang Theory?
Sheldon.
Sheldon. He does that.
She's a little like Sheldon. She kind of is. A little bit.
Homosexual in real life?
No, just kind of awkward. Not really. Yeah, and trust me, her husband Peter, mark my words, people, something shady's going on with his business.
Peter's a pumpkin eater.
So, anyway, we will see you guys later.